Greetings and welcome back to another fragrance video and another fragrance review, and today another niche fragrance review, and we're going to be taking a look at one of my favorite niche houses, the house of Kilian, and their fragrance Vodka on the Rocks. So before we talk about the notes, how the fragrance smells, etc., let's take a quick look at the packaging. And now it's time to take a quick look at the box and bottle of Vodka on the Rocks. Now, by default, the fragrance comes in this black cardboard box. Why do I say by default? Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So it's a black cardboard box with a blue square, and in the square it says Vodka on the Rocks by Kilian in this white italic font. And at the bottom of the box in gold letters, we have the concentration eau de parfum, or EDP, vaporisateur spray, and 50 ml. So the size of the bottle, or 1.7 fluid ounces. So this is a 50 ml bottle. And when we open the box, we have here the logo of the House of Kilian in gold again. And we get this little card, Kilian Paris. What is inside the card? Well, it's basically like why the House of Kilian was launched. So you can pause and read this if you're interested, because I am not reading this entire text in this video. And the bottle is protected with this sponge material, and it's a very snug fit. So if you press the bottle all the way down, you're gonna have a hard time taking it out of the box. And that's basically it. Let's take a quick look at the bottle now. So it's a blue, of course, glass bottle. At the front we have this little metal plaque. It says Vodka on the Rocks by Kilian. On both sides we have this like rubbery or faux leather material with this interesting print on it. At the back we don't really get anything. And at the bottom of the bottle we get the batch code, the size, the concentration, etc. The cap is a gunmetal color, and it actually fits snugly on the sprayer, so you can hold this bottle by the cap. However, I think with time this will loosen up, so be careful when picking this bottle up. At the top of the cap we have K for Kilian, so again one of their logos. When we take the cap off, we can see the sprayer. It's a gunmetal sprayer, and let me just show you how the sprayer works. So let me waste the spray for you. It's a pretty good sprayer. I don't know why the first one was not really all that much of a success, but it's a good sprayer. I think I just haven't worn this in a while, so that's why. And yeah, that's basically it with regards to the packaging, and now my room smells amazing. So now let's go back to the original perspective, talk about the notes, how this fragrance smells, and if it's worth a buy. And we're back. So that was the packaging of Vodka on the Rocks. Now there is an even better version of the box. However, you have to pay extra money for it. And in my opinion, unless you have a lot of money to spare, I think it's kind of an unnecessary cost. After all, the most important part is the juice inside the bottle of the fragrance. So while we're on that topic, let's talk about the officially listed fragrance notes. In the top, we have coriander, aldehydes, and cardamom. In the mid notes, we have rhubarb, lily of the valley, and rose. And in the base notes, we have ambroxan, moss, and sandalwood. Now, longevity and projection on my skin are not really all that impressive. On my skin, the longevity is around 6 hours, while the projection is within 1.5 meters after applying the fragrance. And after the first hour, it starts to slowly die down and become more of a skin scent. With regards to seasons, I think this is a perfect warm weather smell. So spring and summer, this fragrance is perfect for it, and maybe in the warmer months of fall. Now, age range wise, I think this is a universal type fragrance, so I can see this on a 16 and on a 60-year-old. So I think it's universal in that regard if we are generalizing. Now, occasionally when I wear this, I think this is a office fragrance. I think this is very good for the office, and maybe in some formal occasions. And finally, who is the perfumer behind this fragrance? It is Sidonie Lancesseur, and good job for her. I hope I pronounced her name right. I don't really speak French. So now we come to the part of the video where we talk about how the fragrance actually smells, at least to my nose. So the fragrance opens up fresh, even cold if it makes sense, and slightly green. This opening is due to the aldehydes and the coriander in the top notes. And then as the fragrance stays on your skin, goes into the mid notes, we get the flower notes in the fragrance. So we get the flowers. However, these flowers don't make the fragrance sweet, something like, I don't know, Versace blue jeans, but they add to the coldness, to the freshness of the opening. They kind of connect to the aldehydes in the top notes. And finally, when we go into the base notes, we get the note of ambroxan come center stage. And what does the ambroxan do? Well, the ambroxan kind of completes the fragrance. It kind of rounds it out. So basically it just rounds out, it completes the aldehydes again in the opening, still keeping this fresh, still keeping this cold, while we have moss, which again keeps the green notes in the background. Now, Kilian has three main fragrance lines: the House of Kilian, the Fresh Spirits, the Narcotics, and the Cellars. And if it wasn't already obvious enough, this fragrance, Vodka on the Rocks, belongs to the Fresh Spirits line. And I think this fragrance really does live up to its name. So it does smell fresh, it does smell cold. It does kind of remind you of an alcohol that uses, cocktail that uses alcohols like vodka or any other similar alcohol like maybe gin and ice added to it. Overall, it's a very, very likable smell. I think you will get a couple of compliments wearing this. It makes a pleasant aura around you. At least when I wore this fragrance, or when I would apply this fragrance to another person to test the aura, you get a very nice scent bubble around you. However, the longevity is not very good, so that is a con of this fragrance. Now, I noticed in the forums that a lot of people compare this fragrance to Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. Now, I can't really comment on the similarities because I just simply never try that fragrance, but when I do, when I test it out, I can make a follow-up video comparing them and to confirm if this indeed smells like Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. So far, I think the fragrance does smell pleasant. However, I'm not really sure if I can recommend you to buy it because it's fairly expensive, and I think you should test it out and come to your own conclusions on this fragrance. I just can't really recommend it nor say it doesn't work because I bought it, so I think it's worth it for me, but I can see why a lot of people say it's not worth it because of the bad longevity and the bad projection. Just test it out and make sure you test it out properly, and then you can decide if this fragrance is worth a buy or not. And that's basically it for today's fragrance review. I hope you liked it, and if you did like it, leave a thumbs up. If you disliked the video, of course, leave a thumbs down, and maybe give me some suggestions how I can improve my content. Subscribe if you want to see more fragrance or wristwatch related videos. And until next time, guys, have a great day and bye.